Hello, and welcome to Marketing Your Truth, the podcast that transmutes the noise of typical generic marketing BS into a method that mirrors the depth of your passion and honors who you truly are. I'm Ellen Atoli, and if you've been searching for a way for your message to be felt, not just heard, you've found the right place. This is your sanctuary where we value and amplify the unique wisdom that only you possess. I'm glad you're here. Let's get started. Today, we're diving into a story that might just hit close to home for some of you, especially if you're someone who's poured your heart and soul into creating something that you know could really make a difference. Maybe it's a course or a coaching program or a service. You've invested so many hours planning every detail, reworking, refining, working through so many late nights, so many early mornings, and you kept going. You pushed through all the doubts. You worked really, really hard because you believed in a potential and the impact that's waiting on the other side for you. You kept picturing all those people signing up and the steady stream of enrollments that finally brings that abundant lifestyle that you've been dreaming about, that you've envisioned for so long. And then finally launch day arrives. You take a deep breath and you hit publish and you wait, hoping that people will see the value right away. But then you know what happens. Well, let's say the response is lukewarm at best. Maybe you get a few signups here and there trickling in, and a handful of people raise their hands saying that they're really interested, but they don't actually make a move. They don't enroll. And when it's all said and done, you're left nowhere near what you had hoped or what you had expected. And that feeling, it really gets under your skin, doesn't it? It's that mix of confusion and frustration and frankly feeling very demoralized from putting in all those hours, all that work, and watching it crash right in front of your eyes. You start wondering, what did I miss? Did I do everything I needed to do to market it properly? Is my messaging the problem? And all types of questions and doubts just start rolling in. And if you're like most people, unfortunately, you start taking random, desperate shots by adding more bonuses, maybe even dropping the price. And when that doesn't work, you try adding even more stuff, and maybe even devaluing the offer with deeper discounts. But that doesn't work either, does it? And that's when the real disappointment starts creeping in. You start asking yourself questions like, is this offer even as valuable as I thought? Was this even the wrong offer altogether? And unfortunately, some people get stuck in this cycle of second guessing, tweaking their offer, or even putting out different offers, hoping that one of these ideas, one of these offers, one of these launches will finally catch on. But that spark, it never quite seems to come to life. If you've ever been there, or if you're experiencing this right now, today's episode and the story I'm about to share is for you. It's about a client of mine who was in that exact same position. He had created a $47 membership service that he was really certain could help a lot of people. He knew the value was there. But after 2 years of consistently marketing it, he had only 12 paid members. Now, fast forward to making some minor but very critical adjustments, and he was able to go to having a wait list for his $2,000 premium program. So what was the change? Well, I can tell you that it wasn't more traffic or working harder or running ads or adding more bonuses. The turning point was very simple, but very powerful. My client, Frank, finally saw his audience. He really saw them. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Frank. He's an expert in trading and investing. He's got years of experience and a solid track record that's helped both himself and his clients make a lot of money. So naturally, he thought, let me just package my expertise into an offer with the goal of giving my audience insights, advice, and daily stock alerts. And to make this a no-brainer, to make this offer a no-brainer, he priced it at just $47 a month. And to sweeten the deal even more, he added a free 2-week trial. But despite all of that, the discount, the bonus, the offer just wasn't landing with his audience. After 2 years of consistently marketing it, he had barely added 12 paid members. And here's the most surprising part. As I said, even with giving away 2 weeks of free trial, essentially giving away the value up front, most people wouldn't even bat an eye on that. They didn't even want to try it for free. They pass it by without giving a second thought. And the few who did try it out, they rarely converted to paying members, leaving Frank back at square one, baffled and confused as to what the heck is going on here. Now, if I said that Frank was really frustrated, that would be a total understatement, especially because he was convinced that his solution works. His solution had helped him and his clients make a lot of money. He even had testimonials of members who had used this $47 a month service to make thousands of dollars. One person had made close to $200,000. But for some reason, his prospects couldn't see the value. Now, maybe you're feeling the same way. You have something that you know is valuable. You've seen the evidence of it in your own life or in the lives of those who've taken you up on that offer. But for some reason, most of your prospects just don't see it. At first, Frank thought that he had a traffic problem. He believed that if he could just get it in front of more people, everything would fall into place. He also knew that his offer was worth far more than $47. But he hesitated, and for a good reason, right? If people aren't buying a $47 product, how is he going to sell something that costs thousands of dollars? When we started working together, the first step wasn't about fixing the offer or even driving more traffic. It was about understanding why his audience wasn't connecting with his solution. I could see that he was so focused on what he wanted to share, on proving the value of his solution, which was actually the root of his problem. You see, the real issue was that he hadn't taken the time to truly understand his audience, their struggles, their fears, their needs. He was leading with the value of his offer, but value is very subjective. If your audience can't see how your solution will meet them where they're at, their current situation, what I call their before state, they'll never see the value in the after state, the transformation that you're promising. And here's where empathy makes all the difference. Frank had been so focused on what he knew and what he wanted to share, rather than starting with where his audience was. His messaging was disconnected from his audience's current reality, the confusion, the overwhelm, the fear that his audience were feeling in that moment. So when we started working together, I asked him an important question. I asked him, why do you want to do this? What's your reasoning? What's your big why? Now, of course, his first answer was simple. I know my solution works and I want to help people make money. But I kept pressing him to go deeper, to go beyond the surface level stuff. And after some back and forth and of course several sessions, Frank realized that he wasn't just trying to sell stock alerts. He was angry. He was angry at an industry that so often makes promises of quick riches without any regard for the people who lose their savings in the process. He'd seen it too many times. People falling for all types of hype, losing their money because they didn't understand the real rules of the game. And that's what he wanted to change. He wanted to be the honest voice, the guide who would help people navigate the complex world of investing without the risk of making devastating mistakes. This shift was a huge turning point for Frank. Once he connected with his bigger why, he started to see his audience differently. He wasn't selling stock tips anymore. He was offering protection. He was offering guidance, a way to avoid financial disaster. And this clarity didn't just help him redefine his message. It helped him get crystal clear on who he is for, and just as importantly, who he's not for. Frank realized that his offer wasn't for everyone. It wasn't for the casual investor or people looking for a quick win. It was for people with at least $50,000 to invest, people who were serious about protecting their wealth and navigating the market with a steady, trustworthy hand. Once he looked at his audience through this lens of empathy, once he understood their fears and frustrations, everything changed. Frank's big why wasn't just about his own success. It was about protecting his audience from making costly mistakes. His ideal clients weren't just dabbling in the market. They were serious investors, and they didn't need more stock tips. They needed an understanding of a deeper emotional and a deeper mental challenges that comes with investing. They needed someone that could guide them through the market's complexities. So once we landed there, once we became that clear about who his audience is, we reshaped his messaging, his offer, and his approach around that clarity. And the result? Well, Frank went from struggling to sell a $47 solution to filling his $2,000 offer in just a few days. He even had to close enrollment early to avoid overbooking himself. And he's since built a 7-figure business around multiple high-ticket offers. That's the power of empathy. It's not just about selling your solution. It's about seeing your audience as real people with real fears, real needs, and real challenges. It's about understanding them deeply enough that they feel seen, heard, and valued. So, if you're stuck in your business, I encourage you to reflect on Frank's story. Are you truly seeing your audience? Are you meeting them where they're at? Or are you focusing on what you want to sell to them? Because when you approach your audience with empathy and a deep understanding of their journey, everything will change for you. Your marketing stops feeling like marketing. It becomes a conversation, a relationship, a partnership. And that's where trust is built and where long-term success begins. I've developed a powerful questionnaire that I guide my clients through to help them to get to the heart of their audience. Now, this isn't something you breeze through in an afternoon. I actually recommend them to take a few weeks to go through it slowly with intention because it's designed to help you uncover the real emotions, the real desires, and the underlying motivations of the people that you're trying to reach. It guides you to see them beyond demographics and the surface level traits and diving into the emotional landscape of your audience. When you invest the time to really understand your audience, beyond just what they need, but what they feel, what they fear, what they hope, you start to see your marketing in a whole new light. The reasons why things may have fallen short becomes clear, and so does your path forward. Instead of guessing what will resonate with your audience, you find yourself creating content that speaks directly to them. Emails that feel personal and offers that align so naturally, they hardly feel like selling. Before we close out today, I want to invite you to take this first step towards real clarity. If you're ready to dig deeper, you can access the questionnaire from the link in the show notes. And my only ask is this: approach this questionnaire with patience and curiosity, because this isn't just another marketing tool. It's your chance to uncover insights that most people overlook. And as you work through this questionnaire, I actually have a request from you. I would absolutely love to hear about your breakthroughs. Will you let me know what new perspective you gained? What surprised you? How did it reshape the way you think about connecting with your audience? Love to hear about that. In the next episode, we're going to tackle something that keeps so many people stuck: the constant obsession with follower accounts, post likes, post shares, or lack of. I'll dive into why this happens and, more importantly, how to break free from this cycle because your long-term success is waiting on the other side. Until then, take a moment to reflect on Frank's journey and think about how empathy can transform your offers, your business, and more importantly, your impact. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Marketing Your Truth.